Hello guys, on this course, I am going to teach you how to remove a background of an image using Adobe Photoshop. My name is Reynald and I'm going to be your course instructor. Most of you guys really want to know how to remove background on a certain image. On this picture right here, you can see the difference between, you can see that the background is removed on this certain image right here, on this side, which is the background, and the other one which is already removed on the background as well on this side. Now this is the best ideal course for you, and you know why? Because it has many uses. Before we start our introduction, let's take a look at our course contents. And the first section is introduction. So this is the introduction, which contains the topic of the course, and the next one is getting started. So we need to learn first the tools that we were going to use, as well as the instruction on every tool that we're going to use. So the third one would be the processing on how to remove the background, and the fourth is the output, which the result on removing your background, and finally the conclusion, which going to take all the parts that of the course that we're going to tackle. Now the next part will be the introduction lecture, which I'm going to tackle to you guys. What's up guys? Before we start removing the background, we should know first the different purposes and its benefits. So this would be the purposes. So the first purpose is you can stick it in a collage. So in removing your background, you can stick it in a collage or something, just like a frame or something like, or something like that, and you can add it to a logo. You can also add the image on a logo, and the third is you can put it on a web page. Now for the benefits, so this is the first benefit of on removing backgrounds. So you can use it for your online businesses such as e-commerce, blogging, and advertising, and other likes. The next one is photo editing. You can use it for your taking photo shoots and other related photo editing works. The third one is you can make money. You can gain money by mastering this course and working as a freelancer, mastering in removing backgrounds. And the last part is you can enhance your designing experience. So that's all for the benefits and its purposes. Now in the next lecture will be the knowing the tools that we're going to use and its functions. Hello again guys, it's Reynald here. Now in this lecture, I am going to show you the tools and their functions. Now I have my image right here on my workspace, which is an eagle. And the first tool that we're going to use is the lasso tool. So the lasso tool is useful for drawing freeform segments of a selection border. Now I'm going to show you guys how does this tool work. Okay, so I'm going to zoom the image in so that I could look at further detail. Select your lasso tool. So if you're using the lasso tool, you need to hold the left click button and start drawing your border selection. Just draw it. And if you accidentally unhold the left click of the mouse, it will start its own selection. And the hardest part of this tool, that it doesn't have a undo selection. and it gladly it has the option selections right here. These are the four. So the first one is the new selection, second is the add selection, the third one is subtract selection, and the last is the intersect selection. Now if you want to remove this part of the background which is already selected, you can use the subtract from selection, and you can draw again and press the or and hold the left click of the mouse. This is like that. So the lasso tool is very very hard to manipulate images. So that's the hardest part of this tool. Now on the second part will be the polygonal lasso tool. Hello again guys and welcome back. This is the second part of the lecture on the knowing the tools and their functions. Now in this lecture I'm going to use the polygonal lasso tool, which is the second tool. So the polygonal lasso tool is useful for drawing straight edge segments of a selection border. So literally straight edge segment. Unlike lasso tool, you can draw freely. While on the polygonal lasso tool, you can draw a straight line segment, just a straight line. And I'm going to show you what I mean, okay? Just going to zoom the image in. Now on the lasso tool, just the hard part of the lasso tool is you just hold the left click button until you're done with the making the selection border of the image. On the polygonal lasso tool, you can just select a starting point and click another point from the selection. Just click and click. And after you're done making a selection border of the image, we'll go back to the starting point where you make a starting point selection. And as you can see on the image, there's an oval shape. That means that indicates that would be the end point of the selection border. And if you click it, it creates a selection. And the worst part of using the polygonal lasso is that you can't select a curved edges of the image. So example like this one, some parts of the image doesn't selected because like I said it only draws a straight line segment. And if you want to make a selection of the unselected part of the image, you can use the lasso tool and use the option menu. So I'm going to use the add selection again and just draw freely. It's just like that. Now on the third part will be the magnetic lasso tool. Hello again guys and welcome back. So this is the third part of the lecture, which on the knowing the tools and their functions. So the third tool is the magnetic lasso tool. Now magnetic lasso tool, using this tool, the border snaps to the edges of the defined areas in the image, and especially useful for quickly selecting objects with complex edges set against high contrast background. So I'm going to show you guys how does this tool gonna work. Okay, so I'm going to zoom this image in. Now I am using the magnetic lasso tool. So earlier what I've said is it snaps the edges of the image. Unlike on the polygonal lasso tool, it draws a straight line, a straight line segment. On this tool, it currently snaps the edges, so I'm going to put a selection, a starting point. So now what does this tool does is it's going to select edges of the image while selecting the edges of the image. It has a node or a point that sets the selection. So just move your mouse on the image. It's like that. That's the easy part of this tool. You can manipulate the parts of the image by just follow the path of the edges of the image. So after you done snapping those edges, you can go to the starting point and close the path that you made. So it's the same as the polygonal lasso tool, that you need to, from starting point, you need to end it with the end point. So as you can see, there's an oval shape. That means that's the end point. So if you're gonna click it, and voila, you have now your selection. So that's the magnetic lasso tool. And as well, it has the option bar. Now the next part will be the quick selection tool. Hello again, guys, and welcome back. So this is the fourth part of the lecture, which is on the knowing the tools and their functions. So I'm done with the three lasso tools that I introduced to you guys. So the lasso tool, polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool. Now in this lecture, I'm going to show you the quick selection tool, just under on the lasso tool area. So using the quick selection tool, you can see it. So you can see that it's sort of a brush type tool, unlike on the three tools that I introduced to you earlier, and it is a selection using an adjustable round brush tip. As you drag the selection, it expands outward and automatically finds and follows the fine edges of the image. So I'm going to show you how does this tool gonna work. Okay, so I'm going to use my quick selection tool and set your brush, and on the option bar right here, it has plus and it has a minus. I'm going to zoom this image in. Now this is a brush type tool, like I said earlier, and you can select an area that you want to select, and it automatically finds and follows the fine edges of the image. So if I'm going to click this area right here, this would be automatically happen. It follows and finds the fine edges of the area. If I'm going to click it, this area right here, it also follows. So this is the easiest tool that I am going to prefer to you guys. Unlike those three that I mentioned, that I used earlier, kind of time consuming. So this tool is the best tool for making the selection. Just click, and it follows the defined areas and defined edges of the areas that you want to select, and it automatically expands on its own, just like that. Automatically expand. And if some areas you don't need to be selected, you can use the subtract from selection, and you can just subtract the areas just like that. Just subtract, or you can use the add, and that is all. That is the simplest and the easiest way in making selection. Now, on the last part will be the magic wand tool. What's up again, guys, and welcome back. So this is the final part of the lecture on knowing the tools and their functions. So the last tool will be the magic wand tool, and so the magic wand tool lets you select a consistently colored area. You can specify the selected color range or the tolerance relative to the original color you click. So unlike the quick selection tool, it select defined area of the image, while on the magic wand tool it selects the the same color of the area of the image. So I'm going to show you how does this tool gonna work. Okay, so I'm going to zoom the image in. Now I'm going to use the magic wand tool, and I'm going to select an area which I'm going to use the magic wand. So the area that I want to choose is this one right here. It depends on you guys. So like I said, the magic wand can select only in color, not on a defined specific range of area. So if I'm going to choose this area right here, so as you can see that area that I choose has the same color as this one, and I'm going to choose this one. It will automatically sets the color and select the area that has the same color that you click. Now you can combine magic wand and the quick selection tool, just like that. And I think there's nothing I can say about this tool, but that's all for on the working on the magic wand tool. So on the next lecture will be the making selection on your image. What's up, guys, and welcome back. This is Reynolds speaking. Now in the previous lecture I introduced to you guys the tools and their function. Now in this lecture I am going to show you how does those tools gonna work. Okay, now let's start off with the lasso tool, which is right here, and then at the bottom of the menu you can see that there are option bar, which is new. This is the new, the add to, selection, subtract, and the intersect, which I'm going to explain to you later. Now I'm going to show you how to use the lasso tool. So I have an image right here, which is a lion, and I'm going to zoom the image in so that I could properly get the details on it. So on the previous lecture that I said that the lasso tool is useful for drawing freeform segments of a selection. So which is you can use this tool as a freeform drawing. So you can do whatever you want using the lasso tool. Now I'm going to zoom it. In again so that you could see. Now to perform the lasso tool, you're going to select the point where you start to um make a freehand drawing on the lasso tool. So I'm going to start here on the nose. It depends on you guys, okay? So by just click, right click and hold it and draw it. Just draw it all the way around. And as you can see that um you can make mistake. You could easily use the delete button, but it's not working on me. That's the problem here on lasso tool. You can't delete the um segment, in the part where you want to um delete the path that you want to delete, or you mistaken to draw. So that's the hard part of the lasso tool. But the great thing is you have the option bar right here. So for example, I'm going to mistake myself right here, just to make a form just like that. And you actually mistake that this side is not yet selected. You're going to use the to add selection and add a and draw another segment like that, so that it could actually add. Or you could also, if you selection is the selection is blended with a background, you could also a subtract the selection. You want to subtract the image, and just like that. That's the best thing on the option bar right here. Now on the intersect from selection, which is going to put another make a path to make a selection. So the intersect, which is going to intersect between the parts that you're going to make a selection. Now in this part right here, as you can see that the middle part where we're going to intersect. So this will be the selected um, area to be selected on the selection. Now that's for the that's for the lasso tool. Now I'm going to show you the polygonal lasso tool, which I explained it on the previous lecture, that the polygonal lasso tool is useful for drawing straight edge segments of a selection border. So from the word straight edge, so it's only working on a straight line. It's different from lasso tool, which you can draw a freeform style. On the polygonal lasso tool, which is you can do it on a straight line. So I'm going to show you what it's like. So here we go. Going to make a path. Now as you can see that the path is trying to make a straight. So you're going to add another path right here by just click to make a path, because it's only used for straight edge segment. That's what I've said. If you want to if you make mistake on making the path, you could delete the path that you made and do it all again. Unlike on the lasso tool that you will use the option bar to add and subtract the selection that you want to make. And to close the path, you need to make sure that the starting path would be the end path also to close the selection. So I'm going to close it, and you can see that there's a oval shape. That means that's the starting point and also the end point to close the path and make a selection. Just like that. You could also use the option bar if you need to. Now moving on the magnetic lasso tool. Now, like I said, the magnetic lasso tool is used for it's more like a polygonal lasso tool, but it can snap. I mean, I mean, the border snaps to the edges of defined areas of the image. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So here we go. I'm going to select my magnetic lasso tool. So in the magnetic lasso tool, you can see that if I'm going to make a starting point, you can see the node, and it starts to draw itself the way, all the way, and I said it snaps the edges of the image that you want to draw. Unlike on the lasso tool and the polygonal lasso tool. If you want to um, put a node, just click and then start again to draw. Just follow the path all over. If you make mistake just like that, you could also delete the path, or even, or you could just move your mouse the way it was. It's like that. If you're going to encounter just like this, you need to make another point. Just like that. So like I said, it's different on lasso tool, and it's different on the polygonal lasso tool. But the style on selection, it needs to be closed. So the path that you made should be closed and make it into a selection, and just like that. Now we're moving on the quick selection tool. So the quick selection tool is a adjustable paint, can be adjusted by a brush. You can select an area, which is a defined edges of the image automatically. I'm going to select this. So the same area would be selected, and it has an option bar, which is the subtract and the plus and the normal selection. So I'm going to use the plus so that it could be selected on the area you want to be selected. Just click until you satisfy the area, and if the some edges that is unnecessary to be selected, you could use the subtract. Now on the magic wand tool, it's different from the quick selection tool. Now the magic wand is Now the magic wand can specify the color range of or the tolerance of the relative original color of the image. So if I'm going to select this area, so this area right here are the same color. So unlike on the quick selection tool, that the area should be selected, and the magic wand tool is used by selecting the color area of the image. You could also use the add, the option bars right here. So I'm going to use the add, just like that. And you can also, at the same time, you could also use the quick selection to remove all these unnecessary selection right here, because if you want to delete it, it will remove. So I'm going to click it, and yeah, that's like that. So that's all for the tools, how those tool works. And on the next lecture will be the real thing, which is I'm going to explain to you how to remove the background step by step. And I hope this lecture will help you out how to, what tools should be used, and what tools should be started with. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Hello again, guys, it's Reynal again here. Now in this lecture I'm going to show you how to make selection of your image. First, you need to open the image you wish to remove the background. Now here I have my sample image, which is an eagle, and you need to make a selection for it. So to make a selection, there are various of tools that you want to use, which I already showed to you on on the previous lecture. And the easiest tool to use is the quick selection and the magic wand tool. There are some tools that are accurate, but um, I mean, like the lasso tool, polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool, but it takes a longer time to use. Now for this lecture, I'm going to use the quick selection tool, which is right here. So let's begin making selection. Okay. You don't need to be accurate with things like hair and fur, because you can refine the edges later. Okay. So I'm done with the making it selection. When you're happy and satisfied with your selection, just right click and select the select inverse, just like that. Now that's all for the selection on how to select an image, so making selection of your image. Now in the next lecture will be the refining of your selected image. Hello again, guys. Now in this lecture I am going to show you how to refine the edges of your selected image. Now in the previous lecture we already done selecting the image using the quick selection tool. So in the previous lecture we already selected the select inverse, and as you can see that there are dots outside on the selected image, and it shows that the selected area is the background. Okay, now to remove the background, click the mask layer, which is in at the bottom part of the layer panel. So before that, if your image is on a background mode, you need to double click it and then click OK to make a new layer instead of a background, so that we could select the add layer mask. So the background is changed into a normal layer. We can use the add layer mask. A good reminder, you need to select the foreground color to black. So I'm going to switch it and select the add layer mask. Okay. I think it's different angle. If the select inverse is not applicable to your Photoshop that you use, and if you try to add the selected layer mask and turns out like this, you need to undo the thing and select right click again and select inverse. Once you've done that again, you try to click the add layer mask if it's correct. Yes, it's really right, correct. Now, moving on, it might not look great yet, true, but don't worry, you can use the refine mask tool to improve it. So to find the refine mask tool, you need to go to window and check the mask, and this is the interface. And then on this part, select the mask edge, or as known as the refine mask tool. Now in this area right here, you can make adjustment to your mask to improve its appearance. So okay, you can experiment. It depends on you. You can use the slider to adjust the output, of your image. Okay, so let's try it. And of course, you'll see nothing to begin with, but by adjusting the radius and all the parts right here, you can pick up all the stray hairs and getting rid of the background between them. And use the slider to adjust, like I said, until you're happy with the look you've achieved. Okay, so here we go. So every time you change the slider, it will also change the output of the image. So for the contrast, I wouldn't try to adjust it, because it will remove the fuzzy artifacts along the selection edge. So I wouldn't do that. So I already adjust the radius. For the smooth, it must be 100%. It depends on you guys, but this is the way I'm happy with. And the feather must be something like that. And the contract and expand, you need to decrease or increase the edge of the selection edge. Okay, so just try to experiment. And by experimenting, if you want to see as you can see that it's a white background, and you're very curious that some of the edges right here were deleted. No, it's not. If you want to make sure that it's not deleted, you could use the black background, or on black selection. Now, as you can see that it's not deleted. Okay, so try to experiment with the on white and on black. Yeah, something like negative 75. And I'm trying to go to white, and you can see that you're happy with your work. Then you could click OK. Then after that, if you want to put the the image that you already removed the background to the other image with a background, you could put the image in. So I'm going to open my file. So this would be my background that I choose, and then all you need to do is to use the move tool and drag the image on the next tab that you are the next image that you already open, or you've just opened, okay, and drop it. So as you can see that the image is so big, you can transform it. You can resize the image by using by using the control T to transform and resize the image. It depends on you guys if you want to resize the image. And after resizing, press control enter. And that's all, guys. Now the next lecture will be on how to remove a complex background like hair. So thanks for watching. Hello again, guys, it's Reynel again here. Now as you notice that my Photoshop is different than the previous lecture, because I am using now a Adobe Photoshop CS6. I am upgrading, and on the previous lecture I was using Adobe CS4. Now on this lecture I am going to show you how to cut out people's hair, which is very complex. So cutting out people's hair is a time consuming task. So that's why we on this lecture we're going to show you how to do it on the easy way, okay? Now I have my image and it was already selected using my quick selection tool, and after a wrap selection, click the refine edge, and then on my view mode, by the way, on Adobe on CS4 it doesn't have an edge detection as well an output, and also on Adobe CS4 it don't have a refine radius tool and erase refinements tool. So I will show you how to do it, and probably you will understand, okay? So I will use my the view mode. I will using the overlay, and what I mean on the overlay is you can see the missing parts of the hair, and you need to use the all you need to do is check the smart radius, and then select the refine radius tool, and just select all the missing parts of the hair that that are missing, okay? So just brush it out. So brush all the missing parts of the hair. And if you want to um change the adjust the slider, if you can adjust the radius as well as the adjust edge right here. And for the output, you need to check the contaminate colors if you want to remove the color fringe from the image, such as colorful backgrounds. And if you want to check it, there's an amount on it. And if you want to increase the amount, if you want to increase the amount of the fringe to remove the color fringe from the image, if you want to remove the color fringe, okay, just increase the amount. And also the output too, it must be new layer with layer mask. So I will explain it to you after I'm going to press the OK button, okay? And if you want to remember the settings, just check it and press OK. And after that, as you can see on the output, it says new layer with a layer mask. So this is the new layer and it has a layer mask on it. So this layer is the output and this layer is the original. So as you notice, guys, that you can see all the hairs, all the hair that are currently missing, and it's perfectly seen. You can see all the flyaway curves and all the plain parts of the hair. And if you want to have a um greater detail, you can duplicate the image by right click it and select duplicate layer. You want to see a further detail, just like that. And that's all, guys. That's all um how to cut out people's hair by by using the smart reduce tool as well as the refine refine reduce tool. Now don't get confused on using Adobe CS4 because Adobe CS4 doesn't have the smart reduce as well as the refined reduce tool. If you want to cut out people's hair like a complex type, you need to use Adobe CS6 because it has the things that you need to make it perfect. Now in the next lecture will be the output on how to save your file and which file format you should use, okay? What's up again, guys, and welcome back. This is Reynal again here. So this is the final lecture of our course. So yeah, that would be the output. So how to save your image in a right file format. So if you want the image to be without background, just the plain image with no background, just save it into just go to file and hit save as. Select the file that you want to save and find PNG and hit save. In saving PNG, it has two options, which is the none, the compression is be none or fast, or the smallest or slow. So I will choose the small compression. So it will have a high quality result, and hit OK. And if you want to have a background, white background, just go to file again, save as, and choose JPEG. Not JPEG 2000, not JPEG stereo, just JPEG, and hit save. In saving JPEG, the quality must be 12 at the maximum and must be standard quality, okay? Hit OK. So that's how to save the right file format for your images. I discussed to you all the lecture of this course and hope you guys understand it all. And On the next one will be the conclusion. So I hope you guys learn the whole lecture of the course. So thanks for watching.